Good morning, everybody. We have a mixed trade in the grain markets here early on Thursday morning. It is 6:30 a.m. Central Time. We have March corn futures up 1.5 at 526. March soybeans up 5.5 at 14.11 and 3/4. March Chicago wheat is down 5 3/4 at 654 3/4. March Kansas City wheat down 2 1/4 at 623.5. March spring wheat up 1/4 cent at 629. I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in to last night's live stream. We had a lot of people on the stream. We had a lot of questions, a lot of feedback in real time, which is kind of the whole purpose of doing the live stream. But if you're interested in that live stream, it was called Put Option Basics. The video, the recording of it is available on YouTube, and it's also available on Facebook. I decided it was way too long, and there was way too much like question and answer type stuff to put it on the podcast app. So it's just available in video form if you're looking for that. But thank you to everybody who tuned in. And guys, just a reminder: if you like these videos, if you like the content, make sure you hit the like button on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure you leave me a review. That really helps me out in terms of the podcast and the YouTube channel and all that stuff. To get into the headlines here this morning, the Brazilian government had its report out yesterday. They reduced the soybean production estimate. CONAB, which is Brazil's USDA, basically pegged the bean crop at 133.7 million metric tons. That was down from 134.5 previously. USDA left their estimate for the Brazilian bean crop unchanged at 133 on Tuesday. Now you got to keep in mind the previous record crop just from last year was 126. So both USDA and the Brazilian government are looking for something closer to 133. This has been a less than ideal growing season in regard to weather. They've had some dry weather, below normal precipitation for a lot of the growing season. But if the yields are okay, we've still got record acreage. Both governments calling for a record crop, and that could change, of course. CONAB pegged the country's corn crop in total at 102.3 million metric tons, down slightly. USDA's got the Brazilian corn crop at 109. You got to remember that second corn crop hasn't even been planted yet, and that's, I think, like 75% of their total corn production. So it's pretty early to make any sort of call there. We're going to see a crush number from NOPA tomorrow morning for the month of December. Traders estimate that NOPA members crushed 185.2 million bushels of beans in December. That would be a record for the month of December and the second best crush number for any month on record if realized. If that number is confirmed, crush for the 2020 calendar year would eclipse the 2 billion bushel mark for the first time. USDA is projecting crush at 2.2 billion for the marketing year, which ends on August 31st. Now, it must be said that, of course, this is old news. This is crush business that's already been done. Crush margins, board crush margins at least, have fallen substantially in recent sessions, and that's a factor that could potentially curb demand there in the second and third quarter. Russia has proposed yet another increase to its wheat export tax beginning in mid-March. So the initial tax was that they were going to do a $30 per ton tax that would be in place beginning in February or mid-February. And now, beyond mid-March, they want to extend the tax to $55 per ton. So these measures are aimed at keeping domestic food prices down amid COVID and rising commodity prices. This is an issue for the wheat market, I think. Russia is the world's largest exporter of wheat. It could certainly disrupt export business, and it could be a good thing for the U.S. wheat export program. China imported a record amount of soybeans in 2020. Customs data revealed that China imported just over 100 million metric tons of beans last year, up from 88.5 in 2019. So that's a big increase. One source said that imports this year in 2021 could hit yet another record as the Chinese hog herd is rebuilt. So, we know that China's been a very active buyer and importer of soybeans, and it looks like that's something that could continue, certainly. Now, you got to remember, going back like pre-swine fever days, They were in the mid 90s, I think, like back in 2017. So to get up over 100 isn't a huge jump from where they were previously, and I suppose that continued demand growth is to be expected there. The U.S. ethanol industry continues to struggle. Last week's production, 941,000 barrels per day, was up 0.6% on the week, but down 14.1% versus the same week last year. Gasoline demand is down 12% versus the same week last year. This is not a good situation. Ethanol production margins across the Corn Belt are really some of the worst that we've seen. USDA did reduce its projection for corn demand via ethanol in Tuesday's report, but you could see even some further downward revisions there if this sort of lackluster activity continues. It's really been kind of a bad deal. The cattle market finished yesterday just a little bit lower in the nearby fat cattle contracts. The feeder cattle contracts were a little bit higher in the nearby contracts. I'm not sure if there's a whole lot in terms of cash, like 106 to 111, and then maybe the majority of it 110 to 111. I'm not sure how great the volume was. We'll see what develops here the rest of the week. In the outside markets, we have the S&P is up about 4 points on the day. The Dow Jones is up 74. Gold's down about $16. We've got the U.S. dollar sitting about flat. Crude oil's down 20 cents at 52.71 in the February WTI contract. Remember, everybody, if you need some more information from me, go to my website. It is www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan here in the upper right-hand corner. If you would like to know when, how, and specifically I'm pricing corn, soybeans, and wheat throughout the year, check out that subscription service. It's $49 a month. You can cancel it at absolutely any time. It includes my morning email, which goes out every business day at 6:30 a.m. Central Time. It includes a text message service. I'll let you know everything about, overnight headlines, that sort of stuff, and also probably more importantly, when, how, and specifically I'm pricing these crops. You can cancel this deal at any time. It's billed to your credit card. There's no obligation. You don't need to have a trading account. Certainly check that out. Everyone have a wonderful day today. I will talk to you on Friday morning.